Shri Chinmay Satgurave Namaha. The root of our problems is the ego. We want to prove. This is when the individuality rises and our trials begin. Swami tells everything or nothing. He explains how we can use yoga or jnana yoga to overcome the ego. When we surrender to God and work in tune with His leads to the disappearance of all sorrows and attachments and the theory of discovery of our own infinite self. One problem, many solutions. A booklet by Param Poojya Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji. Single source of all our problems. Problems are many and varied, but the person who has the problem is one alone. I, the subject, the experiencer of the problems. Vedanta says, you have no problems, you are the problem. When we go to sleep, we have no problems. When we go into samadhi, there is no problem. When undergoing surgery, I know nothing because I am under sedation. That is why when pain becomes unbearable, people want to sleep. Sometimes they want to die and not have rebirth because if they are born again, there will be problems once again. It is only when I am there that there are problems. When I am not there, there are no problems. Sometimes people think that their problems are because of others, that if these others are eliminated, they will no longer have problems. But the fact is that I am the one who is responsible for my own problems. The whole world rises with the I thought and dissolves with the I thought. The nature of ego. This I thought is called the ego. It is called ahankara in Sanskrit. This ego is the only problem I have. We must know what this ego means because it is a word which is often used loosely. It is generally used to denote arrogance or a superiority complex. But the ego has many expressions. The moment a person says, I am so and so, it is the ego that is speaking. I am depressed, I am elated, I am brilliant are all expressions of the ego. It may express itself as a superiority or inferiority complex. A person who thinks I am good for nothing is also expressing his ego. A disease is generally a problem with a particular disease affects only the liver, asthma affects only the lungs, and cardiac problem affects only the heart. But cancer is a disease that can happen anywhere in the body. Ahankara or ego is like cancer. It can manifest anywhere, even in people who say things like, I have no ahankar, I am humble, or I am very generous. In Chinmay Mission, students are interviewed before being admitted to the Vedanta course. I asked one of the applicants who had just come out of his interview with Poojya Gurudev. How did he go? He replied, "Very good. I inspired Swamiji." What an ego! The changing forms of the ego. In Saddarshanam, Sri Ramana Maharshi describes the ego. रूपोद्भवो रूपतति प्रतिष्ठो प्रतिष्ठो रूपाशनो धूतगृहीतरूपः स्वयं विरूपस्वविचारकाले धावत्यहङ्कारपिशाच एषः. The ghost of the ego is born amidst forms. It lives in form, thrives on form, drops one form and takes on another form continuously into itself. At the time of self inquiry, it is understood that the ego has no form of its own. It is a relative superimposed reality that cannot remain when the true nature of the ego is known. Ego or ahankar is a sense of individuality rising from one's identification with something or other. It expresses itself as I am a human being, identification with the species, I am fat, identification with the body, I am restless, identification with the mind, I am his wife, identification with relationships, I am an Indian, identification with nationality, I am a Lions Club member, identification with a group, and so on. This identification is called aham, I am. Ego changes form continually. Another, give up one place and take up another, give up citizenship of one country and take on that of another, give up friendship and take up enmity with some, always changing my identifications. When we are identified with a limited or finite field, we remain limited or finite. People identify with their achievements. When a person says, I am now a millionaire, his status might be changed, but he remains a finite and limited being. Sense of limitation. In the normal sense, a person may not have a superiority or an inferiority complex, yet his sense of individuality creates a limitation in him. He wants to acquire and enjoy more and more because of this sense of being less or limited. As a result, conflicts arise. If I think I have less than others, I feel jealous. If I think I am more than others, then arrogance arises. If I want something and don't get it, I become depressed. Jealousy, arrogance, depression are all indications of limitedness and they give sorrow. When I say I can only do this but not that, I am limited my capabilities. In finitude, there is no happiness. In arrogance, one may think I am the best, but this will give when one realizes that there are people who are much superior. Ravan's arrogance led him to think that he was the most powerful person, but there was Hanuman to remind him that he had been defeated by Bahubali and by Wali. Insecurity comes from ego. Whenever anyone did tapas, Indra felt very insecure, thinking that the person was trying to usurp his post as the king of the Devatas. He identified with his position and felt limited and endangered. Greed, envy, and other negativities arise out of a sense of limitation. People often refuse to apologize because of their ego. Ravan did not want to admit his mistake and apologize to Ram. His ego prevented it. Sometimes we harm someone and refuse to apologize but seek forgiveness from God. God, forgive me for doing harm to him, is our prayer. Why not apologize to him personally? He is my servant. How can I apologize to my own servant? Such is our ego. Our limited identifications lead to likes and dislikes and problems. Thus, all our problems boil down to one problem, the problem of our ego. How do we overcome our ego? Many solutions. We will begin with a common sense solution. Take a paper and pen. Suppose you suffer from pride about your achievements. Say, as an orator, list all the factors that have contributed to your achievement. I need a body to speak. The body, a healthy body without defects, has been given to me by my parents. Education, my parents and the school have given it to me. The society has also encouraged my efforts. I learnt Vedanta in the ashram, which is supported by many householders. I need a subject on which to speak. My teachers have taught me the subject. I need an audience. So many people listen and encourage me, giving me the confidence to speak. I need a venue. Many people have helped me to organize this venue and made arrangements for my talks. When I understand how many people have contributed to my success and that my achievement is dependent on all these factors, I will become humble. You may be very proud of your palatial house, but if you have an aerial view of your city, your house will appear like a dot in it. When you change your perspective and view things from a larger context, your ego will diminish and you will learn humility. Why do I have an inferiority complex? It is because I compare myself with others and have my own merits. Why should I compare and feel small? The ego is only a feeling of individuality that seems to limit us. Jnana Yoga. Jnana is knowledge, knowledge of the true nature of the self is gained through inquiry. Ramana Maharshi must inquire about who am I? Am I the body or the mind? If I am not these, then there is nothing to limit me. On inquiry, when I realize that I am not the upadhis, instruments which are limited, there is no sorrow. Sri Ramana says that the self is without ego, without sorrow, totally peaceful. Discovery of one's own infinite self will lead to disappearance of all sorrows and attachments. There is only one entity in existence, and that is the real me. It is not the body, mind, name, or form. Wrong identification with all these have given me an ego. Let me illustrate this identification with an example. A movie actor is given the role of a king. At home, he is not a king. In the studio, he dons his royal costume and crown, and immediately there is a change in his identity. He is ready to play his role. A peculiar notion arises in him: I am a king. This is identification. The actor can remain without his role, but the role cannot remain without him. This is the story of how the infinite became the limited ego. When all these identifications are dropped, I become the infinite. Any number of any number is bound to be limited because you can it. Only infinity is complete because it can never be increased. There is no sense of limitation in it. This path of inquiry, which is called Jnana Yoga, is very subtle and therefore appears very difficult. Those who have discovered their infinite nature through inquiry becomes totally fearless. Karma Yoga. Karma means action. Actions done without a sense of I help to remove the ego. Ego is of two kinds. The technical ego, I am Rama, I am Indian, I am a man, etc. And the problematic ego, the sense of I-ness or individuality. The technical ego can be avoided when we are transacting in the world. The problematic ego is the one that gives us sorrow. We have to get rid of this problematic ego. If you are an employee of a company, it means that you are in the pay of the company that has given you your job, status, and designation. It is your duty to work only for the company and no one else. You cannot use your position to accumulate things for yourself, as that would be. Similarly, your very existence has been given by the totality. When you understand that God has gifted all your faculties to you on the day you were born, you will also understand that it is your duty to serve the totality as His instrument. He is your master and you owe everything to Him. It is important to cultivate the attitude: you, God, are the doer. I am only instrument. You are the Lord. I am your servant. I accept everything and you give me prasad. A servant only obeys his master. There is no place for his likes and dislikes. Therefore, there is no ego in him. In Ramcharitmanas, Goswami Tulsidas says, O Lord, never let me lose the Abhiman, pride, that I am your servant. I am the Karana, I am the Karana, the instrument, and not the Karta, the doer. Bondage comes only from the feeling that I am the doer, not from the feeling that I am an instrument. If the musician's performance is not good, people blame the musician and not the instrument. When we surrender with his will, there is no fear of going wrong. He is responsible for everything, whether good or bad. He is the giver of everything. Why should I be jealous of anyone? He will give me what I need. Bhakti Yoga. Devotion to God is called Bhakti. Total love of God purges our negativity and purifies our mind. In Bhakti, I lose my identity and becomes a zero before Him. In Jnana Yoga, the experience of the Jnani is I am the infinite Brahman. When one becomes the total, there is no sense of duality, no ego, and no sense of limitation. In Bhakti Yoga, the Bhakta devotee feels I do not exist, only God is there everywhere. My sense of individuality gets dissolved, my ego disappears. In Karma Yoga, the feeling is you are the master and I am your instrument. There is a sense of individuality in karma, but as you think of yourself as a servant, your ego will not trouble you. Either you become everything or nothing. Our problem is that you want to become something. We want to prove to the world that we are something. Then ego rises. Ahankar pricks you like a thorn in the throat. A father feels very happy when his son does better than him. There is no jealousy because he loves his son. In the same way, when we love everyone, there is no jealousy. Do not be jealous of anyone. God has something to give everyone. Thus, our problem is our ego and it can be overcome through Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga or Jnana Yoga. Let us pray to God to give us the strength to dissolve our ego. Solutions for specific problems. Question. Swamiji, some people bring out the best in us and some bring out the worst in us. Why is it so? Answer. Instead of asking why, some people bring out the good in you and others just the opposite. You should thank them both because they help you to discover yourself in totality. Improve yourself with this discovery and then rise above both good and bad and abide in the self. How do we deal? Question. Next question. How do we deal with people who belittle our spiritual faith and look down on the spiritual path that we have chosen? Answer. Be strong in your knowledge so that you can give the right answers to their skeptical questions. Learn the art of quick repartee. Once a man came to me in the early days of my sannyas. He looked at me from top to toe and said, give up all this and join our line. Obviously, by our line, he was referring to Grihastha Dharma. Why? Otherwise, you will regret it. I have so many regrets in life. What is, I said, what is one more after all? The man was at a loss for words after that. Once a learned man approached Kabir Das and said, I want to have a debate with you on the scriptures. Kabir Das asked him why he was so desirous of a debate with him. He answered, I accept defeat. The man felt deflated when Kabir. Don't allow other people to get under your skin. If you cannot think of a smart repartee, just ignore their gibes. God has given us 2 years for cross ventilation. Just take in through one ear and throw it out of the other. Question. As we go up the ladder of success in our jobs, colleagues feel threatened, become jealous, and wait for us to fail. There is a change in the attitude of people towards us compared to the pre success days. How do we handle such a situation? Answer. Do not be over anxious to prove yourself to others or give assurance to those who are doubtful of your ability to deal with your higher responsibilities. Just continue to be what you are and do your work to the best of your ability. Eventually, they will understand your capabilities and back off. This was from a talk given in Hyderabad on September 30, 2007 on Saddarshan. अच्छा ओम श्री